I did all that, did the discharge, wrote these money orders up, got brought into court, questioned, almost got this, but I was smart enough to be able to answer the questions appropriately. So finally, the bank brought me into court. This is how I know you can shut lawyers down in the courts. I've been there. I'm not telling you something I've read on a piece of paper. I did it. So the lawyer comes in. They did what you call a claim 420 to get the vehicle back. But I said, I don't have a vehicle. It was here in Georgia. This is in South Carolina. I don't have a vehicle. The vehicle is not in my possession. Said, you know where it is? I said, it's not in my possession. They kept trying to get me to say, give them where it was. So when I got my turn to speak, I said, first of all, I want everything this lawyer said stricken for the record because he's a stranger to me. He's an attorney representing the bank, and the bank's not here. And the judge said, you're absolutely right. And I screwed up by saying more than I should have. I should have shut up right then and there. And I started saying, well, I don't know. I don't have the vehicle in my possession. So they skipped that part and moved on. That's why I should have stayed right there. The whole case would have been dismissed and I'd have been done with it right then and there. But long story short, they got a judgment to get the car from me. So they sent the sheriff to a house I wasn't living at. But they know where I was, so they called me. I got on the phone with the sheriff. I said, look, will you read the order? The order said it ain't in my possession. She said, you know what, it's right. You ain't got a vehicle. Why are they sending me to get this from you when it says you don't have it? The order specifically said they can get it, but the vehicle is not in my possession. So wherever they find it, they can get it. But it wasn't even in their jurisdiction. It was in Georgia. So those cases only have jurisdiction for South Carolina. So they couldn't get the vehicle. Long story short, they did what happened to whoever said they got that 1099. They did that to me. I get no bill. Said I owe somebody. Why? Because I had stuff in place where I hit the IRS saying, explain these deals to me that I owe this. Plus, I'm not doing contracts with them. See, you probably did a tax return that same year that you opened up a contract for them to even do that. There's no open contract for me to be involved in that. So they can't say I owe or whatever because I didn't do a tax return and not put that on it. See, when you did your tax return, to them, it looked like you left out the 1099. Now they're adding it in and saying you owe it. That's basically, they redid your tax return for you. See, I don't have a contract where they could say, okay, you left this out. See, those things are just statements of which they making claims. So what happens is when I do a tax return, someone enters a statement 1099A. Now I'm doing a tax return, I left it out. There's no balancing. So they're going to balance it out for me unless I dispute it. See, if you disputed that would have never been added into your tax return. You didn't dispute it. So then they go and say, well, you owe us some money. Boom, boom, boom. They said they mail it, and they love mailing to wrong addresses. They do. So that's why you got to, IRS letters are just like third-party debt collectors. Answer them within 30 days. If you don't, it becomes real, okay? So with the car, they did the 1099A. Oh, okay, great. Now I don't owe it. And then they sent me a statement that I owe them no more money. Now my only problem is I don't have the title to the truck. I don't care. But guess what? I just keep dealer plates on it. I don't care. Dealer plates on it. I don't even insure it because then insure it means I have to register it. Then that might bring up that order, all of that stuff. But once I get the title, I won't have to worry about that no more. Because what I'll do is take the title and sell it to my trust. Now it's under the trust and no one can touch it. New title, no one can touch that trust. They still can't touch it now because that order, that was like almost 3 years ago now. It's done. So with that car, just don't, unless you want to sell it, that's the only time you're going to worry about needing the title. Really. Is it operational? Okay. Now, then don't worry about it. You're just trying to worry about the credit part. Okay. Okay. All right, yeah. They coming at you. Are they coming forward like a third-party debt collector? Yeah, just send them a letter, man. Shut them down. Hey, I don't owe you nothing. He's still a third party debt collector. Right, 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 right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. If they're coming in as a different name. So if it's a Bank of America legal department, that's a different name. Right. He's still a lawyer. He still don't have first-hand knowledge. They come in, they use the lawyer title for intimidation. That's all. They don't mean nothing. They still the same as any other third-party debt collector. Now, if they try to sue you. Peace, everybody. This is Akeem, Hindsight Radio. I am making a short video to go over what I'm going to be discussing in the webinar coming up on September the 30th at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm going to be covering things like creating your own birth certificate and getting that authenticated, creating your own marriage certificates and getting that authenticated. And then I will be covering the process of submitting your proper documentation with your national passport process to get your passport properly as an American national, not as a citizen of the United States. Now, why am I doing this? Well, a lot of people seem to think that you only need government made documents or state made documents to validate birth or marriage. That is not true. The method I'm teaching is not new. It's been done in churches of old. Births were recorded, baptisms were recorded, marriages were recorded on the church records, and those was used as proof. Families kept proof of lineage in Bibles. So what I'm doing is not new per se, but it's new in respects to how you're going to be presenting it as an American national and not as a citizen of the United States. So I'm going to teach you how to create those documents and get them authenticated by the states and on the federal level, the Secretary of State. Get all of those things authenticated. And once they get authenticated, you will fall under the full faith and credit rule, meaning that any document that's certified or authenticated by one state, it will be able to be used in any state as proof of the fact that you're presenting, whether it be birth or marriage or anything else. So this webinar is very important for those who are interested in separating themselves 100% from using state created documents or government created documents to prove birth, marriage, etc. So if you want the details, go ahead and sign up at my website or click the link that I'm going to provide in this email along with this videos. All right, there you have it. I hope to see you on Monday, September 30th, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Peace. And that static are being sacrificed. And that's if your stuff's not available, they can't hear it. Sometimes you gotta feel your way through the dark, and I struggled all the way up into the minute. Peace, prosperity, and extreme wealth to all you guys. This is Hindsight Radio. I represent it, the information station changing the nation. Let's see. All right, how's that? You should be having sound now. Why did this switch up on me? Got sound now? Can y'all hear that? Test. Now, I noticed something was different when I was recording. Let me check. Oh, they said I'm good now. I don't know why I wasn't feeding my mic. When I played the video, they always updating this app, and whenever they update it, it messes with the sound for some reason. Yeah, usually I have my little screen to show what my sound levels are, and I wasn't looking at it. All right, so we look good. All right. Yeah, I didn't do anything different. It's just these glitchy apps. What was I saying? We are 29 days the into September. The month is already over. We into October, and just to repeat what I was saying while I was on mute or silenced. I wanted to say that I hope this year went well for you. You got everything you wanted. And if it didn't go well for you, or you feel like it didn't go well, you had the idea that it didn't go well, it still went well. Why? Because through our challenges is how we grow. Through challenges is how you level up. You cannot level up without a challenge, without being challenged. Just look around you. The people that are not going anywhere are still doing the same thing they did the day before. They don't have any new adventures or new challenges coming at them. They got the same stuff going on. They're waiting for their shows to come on so they can watch them and then go to bed and get up and go to work and they don't have any new challenges. This is why a lot of people are so depressed with their lives, because there's nothing exciting going on. You know how it is when you're learning something new, you think everything seems exciting. That's why you have to keep learning. You got to keep pushing forward and educating yourself in different areas. As some people say, why do I need to know this? And why do I need to know that? Like, I met a Jewish man the other day. His name was Emmanuel. Now, if I was just, a person who didn't have a lot of information in my head, I wouldn't have a whole lot to talk to him about, right? And I asked him a question like, the name Emmanuel is in the Bible, and it's the name that when God came to Mary, he said, hey, you're going to name him Emmanuel, right? It don't say name him Jesus. It said, you're going to name him Emmanuel. But some reason in Christianity, we overlook that and we highlight this name Jesus. But that's not the lesson today. That's not the lesson. This is not why it's kind of because the title of the show is Assumptions Become Facts. Like people assume that that's what God had told Mary to name the boy that she was going to have. He said Emmanuel. Now, if y'all don't believe me, go look it up. Go look it up. And no one ever challenged that. Why does it say Emmanuel and y'all saying Jesus now? Where did that come from? I mean, although the name Jesus is in the modern day Bible, but you dig deep, it ain't in there. It's not in there. But I'm not going to go through the history lesson. Maybe one day I'll just break that down. I get led to talk about that. I'll talk about it. And I know this may be stumping some of y'all. Man, don't be talking about my Jesus. I know I ain't trying to talk about your Jesus, but I'm talking about the facts of what the Bible actually says.
or heard the call say. But I was talking about challenges that you might have had this year that might have held you back. You might have gone through some personal challenges. You might relationships got broken up. Your finances may not be where you want them to be right now. It's a challenge for you. So that's the time to really say, okay, I need to do some adjustments in my thinking and be thankful. Hey, this is happening to me so I can realize where I need to make adjustments. Don't complain about it. That's the time to reevaluate. Relationship didn't work out. Well, why didn't this relationship didn't work out? So that I don't bring the same baggage into the next relationship. Y'all do realize when relationships break up, it ain't the other person's fault, right? But that's how you have to look at it. It's some growth you may have needed. It could have been you just picked the wrong person. That's possible. Or the wrong person might have been you. Who knows? But today's lesson is assumptions become facts. And once I start reading, it's from my book, Neville Goddard collection. Nice book. Y'all might want to get it. It's a big, thick book. I was working on my guitar. Um, I was playing my guitar yesterday, practicing, and I just said, okay, after I practice, I'm gonna open up and read this. And then the first thing I opened up was just on page 255, chapter 2, Assumptions Become Facts. And here's what it says. Men believe in the reality of the external world because they do not know how to focus and condense their powers to penetrate its thin crust. And that's true. Most people believe in what they see as a fact. That's the fact. I witnessed this. I experienced this. And that's as far as they go, but they call this a thin crust. That's the least of the reality. That's not the truth of the reality. What you're seeing and experiencing is not really the whole truth. And I'll explain. This book has only one purpose: the removing of the veil of the senses, the traveling into another world. To remove the veil of the senses, we do not employ great effort. The objective world vanishes by turning our attention away from it. Like one example is I always use this example. You buy a red car, and let's just give it a specific model. Let's say you bought a red Genesis GV80. Let's say it's a red car, brand new. You bought this. Now, before you saw this car, you didn't see a whole lot of red cars, and not neither say you didn't see a whole lot of Genesis GV80. But all of a sudden, when you buy it, you start to notice more of them. Does that mean that they just popped up because out of thin air because you had it now, or were they always there, or you just never noticed it? And that's with anything. How many times have you been looking for your keys and they were in your hand or in your pocket? How many times? You're holding the very thing you're looking for. Why? Because your attention wasn't there. It wasn't that it didn't exist in your hand. It's just that your attention was expecting it to be in some other place, some other reality that you wanted it to be, or you was looking for it to be, other than right there where it was the whole time. So we have only to concentrate on the state desired in order to mentally see it, but to give it reality so that it will become an objective fact, we must focus our attention upon the invisible state until it has the feeling of reality. When through concentrated attention, our desire appears to possess the distinctness and feeling a reality. We have given it the right to become a visible, concrete fact. So let's bring it to what we're talking about. What I'm talking about, assumptions become fact. So if you want something great to happen for yourself, you really have to already see it before it even arrives in the physical world, where you could actually touch it, feel it, smell it, and experience it in this reality, this 3D reality. You have already experienced it in the mind. But then some people say, "Well, Hakeem, I didn't want my wife, my husband to cheat on me. I didn't want that. That's not what I expected them to do. I didn't ask for that." Did you or didn't you? Let's be honest. First, let's dial it back. How did you even find out they was? Yeah, we uncover this truth. Because see, I'm gonna show that that's a lie when you say you didn't want it to happen or wasn't looking for it to happen. So here's the question: how did you even find out that they did do it? They were doing that. How did you find out? You went looking for it. Something came in your mind to suspect that they did it. You saw the vision of them doing it, and you went and looked and you found it. So you assumed until it became a fact for you. Now that's not to say that that people just don't do things spontaneously. They just do things. No, what I'm saying is nothing is in you comes into your reality without you expecting it to get there. So if you having financial issues, there's a certain expectation of those financial issues that you had prior to that brought it to you. And this is the truth that most people do not want to have or hold on to. And this is why, because we can't hold on to those types of truths, we can never manifest what we truly, really want. See, this system has programmed us so bad that we expect bad things to happen to us all the time. We assume bad things are going to happen. Y'all know, y'all seen this. I know I've done it. What I'm about to show you. Things be going good for you so well. And then you'll say something like, man, good, nothing good lasts forever. What? That's the reality we create. We say those things thinking we know better, like we're saying something profound, like we're saying, but not realizing we're actually creating. How come it can't last forever? Why doesn't it last forever? Well, because this happened. This world is everything's temporary. We say these things. Let me take it even deeper. Why do we even die? Why don't we live forever? Where did that idea come from? Why can't we just live? How come we can't set in our minds that we are infinite beings, and even in this reality, I can make this body last forever? Oh, I know I'm talking some hocus pocus crazy. This boy out of his mind. What he been smoking? Nobody live forever. Why don't they? Have you ever dug deep and asked that question? Why, if we create our own reality, how come we can't create the reality of living forever in this state, in this 3D state? Because I'm not saying what I'm saying is 100% right or wrong. What I'm saying is, how did we even get the idea in our head that we don't live forever? Because someone said to you that you're going to grow old and die. Read the Bible. You will grow. God, that was one of his punishments. I'm going to cut your days short and you're not going to live. We read that. That was put into our consciousness as a belief system. And now we're holding on to it like it's a fact. And now it's a fact. It become a fact. Why? Because we believe we die. So we grow old, we get sick, whatever, and we die. This is why when you're learning these higher sciences, you come across these paradoxes. You come across these crossroads. Wait a minute. If I am creating my own reality, that means I'm the master of all things, even my own mortality. Something to think about. Most of the things that we believe or hold on to are basically assumptions. Nothing that for ourselves has become a fact. They became a fact for someone else. If I'm still talking to you right now, that means I'm still alive according to the definition of living in this current state of being. Death has not become a fact for me. So my believing in it for myself is an assumption based off of what other people have done and did. Now, death and dying is a very deep thing, serious thing to think about. But when you really look at that and you look at how we are right now, and most of the things we assume them because someone else has experienced it. Not that we've experienced it for ourselves. We assumed them and we took it into our consciousness as a fact and we lived that out. And so until the actual reality comes into play, now it becomes a fact. But everything, for the most part, right now, has become assumptions. And what your assumptions are and what you deeply believe in will become a fact eventually for you in this physical realm. That's why we must really be diligent and pay attention and be faithful in recognizing and understanding how our mind really works. If it is difficult to control the direction of your attention while in a state of akin to sleep, you may find gazing fixedly into an object very helpful. Do not look at its surface, but into and beyond any plain object, such as a wall, a carpet, or any other object which possesses depth. Arrange it to return to little reflection as possible. Imagine then that in the depth you are seeing and hearing what you want to see and hear until your attention is exclusively occupied by the imagined state. So, this chapter really is showing you how to create and control your reality. And because we've born into this situation where we're bombarded with a lot of negative information right out the gate, it's going to take a long time to put this stuff into practices. Then, and this is the reason why wealth, prosperity, and these things that you really want is taking a while to get to you. Because one day you're really high and you can feel it. I can make this happen for myself. And then the next day you're down and you're creating another thought pattern of failure. So they both at war with each other. They both at war. You're constantly in your consciousness, consciously in a state of war between your thoughts. So where is the war really taking place? Not outside of you, inside of you. The thing that's holding us back is our own thoughts, our own assumptions of what the truth is. And there was if you guys ever get it, I got it up here, the Gnostic Bible. It's a Gnostic Bible. You probably can't see it, it's out of range of the camera. But study a group of Christians called the Gnostics. These were a group of Christians that the Catholic Church, those are the ones that were burning at the stake, burning Bibles, because in that Gnosticism, they were teaching those things, teaching you how to consciously control your world. And they were Christians. Some of you probably never heard of Gnostics until just now. Or you might have heard of it in passing, but study them. And you'll see why they were persecuted. And the Catholic Church wanted to get rid of them. Because in that school of thought, every Christian took responsibility for their own salvation. They weren't waiting on God to fix things. They were given the tools through the power that God had already created them with to be able to create the reality that they wanted for themselves. You see? Study that. At the end of your meditation, when you awake from your control, I must have missed something because I don't remember telling you guys to remove all the veil senses. Oh well, this is talking about meditation. At the end of your meditation, when you awake from your controlled waking dream, you feel as though you had returned from a great distance. The visible world which you had shut out returns to consciousness, and by its very presence informs you that you have been self-deceived in believing that the object of your contemplation was real. Y'all know that. You ever been in such a deep thought? Even let's just use negative situations that you found yourself thinking about. You may not know a full length of. I started off talking about cheating, right? When you really think about that, you imagine what the person is doing. You're creating this whole scenario in your mind as if it's real. And we've done that. We do that with a lot of things. We create these scenarios in our mind after this is real. Then we get, and then when it becomes true, I knew it. Not knowing you creating that for yourself. Hold on, somebody. Um, hang on just a second. I'll call back in a second. I'll call them back. So in order to control outcomes in your life, you must meditate. Didn't Jesus? He went and meditated and fasted, what, 30, 40 days? And after his meditation, once he became strong in his meditation, he was tempted by the what? The devil. 3 different temptations. That's usually what happens when you come out of a fast, you want to do something spiritual. Soon after, maybe you want to fast from eating certain foods. Soon as after you get done with that, you know, getting a bunch of things here. Soon as after you get done with your fast, that same thing you was fasting from comes at you. You get a huge craving. That's what that whole scenario of Christ going through his fast and the devil coming to tempt him. That's your own lower state of being trying to bring you back to where you were. And you're going to have to transcend that. But meditation and fasting is very powerful into manifesting things that you desire. I personally don't think you can even accomplish manifesting the things that you want without meditation and fasting. I'm not talking about you got to fast, 60, 30 days. I'm talking about just maybe, a couple of days fast. Clean your system out. And in that time, build yourself up through spiritual things, or maybe let's just say, for example, you want to manifest a lot of money. So you fast, you meditate on that, and you surround yourself with things that promote wealth in your life for those days. That's all you concentrate on. That's all you until you get to the point in the state of being that you know it's happening to you right now. So that when it does show up physically in this 3D realm, it's already an expectation. Oh, I expect that to happen. Like you can just do it. And as you do that, and you get into practice of doing that, you don't even have to meditate too much anymore. All you have to do is know, oh, well, that bill's paid. That money's coming. My wealth is expected. See, the issue is we don't have the right expectations on our life. We have been programmed to expect bad things to happen to us. That's why when good things are happening, we'll say, man, this thing ain't gonna last. Nothing good lasts forever. That's the mantra. But we have to switch that up and say, I expect nothing but wealth and prosperity, peace, and good relationship. That's I'm not lowering my standards. See, do you think Elon Musk, Bill Gates, Soros, all these big wealthy guys expect to be broke? That's what they're thinking about when they get up? That no, they're thinking about expecting an expectation of making more money on top of the money they already have. That's their expectation. They don't expect to lose. They expect to win. We have been programmed with an expectation of being losers. And one of the ways we've been programmed to be have an expectation of loss is through our school system. That's why they test you on everything. And I hope you say, I hope I win. You don't expect to win. I hope I pass. You don't say, I know I'm passing. I know I got this. This ain't nothing. Some people expect to be second, third, and fourth place, but not in number one. Look at the children that really do well on tests. They have an expectation of passing. They don't have an expectation of failure. Your attitude, your consciousness is a direct cause of your outcomes. If you're in a tough relationship and maybe things are not working out the way you want it to be, what is your expectation? Are you expecting it to get better or are you expecting to get worse? Oh, I don't know, because if you are looking at externally at the other person as a problem, this is usually a common thing to say, I don't think it's going to get better because that person is not doing right. And what you say is what you get. What you assume will become the fact. Your assumptions become facts because you make them facts by your assumptions, by your belief system. A lot of us believe in failure more than we believe in success. If you have more failures than you have success, check where your belief systems are. Check where your expectations are. Don't check the situation. Don't check the other person. Check yourself. Relationships can survive anything if you want it to survive. If you expect it to survive, and you now with relationships, that's a double-edged sword, because what's the other person's expectations? Are they in alignment? And I'm compelled to say this: some of us are hooked up with people we should have never been with in the first place. Not because they're so much bad people, because they don't have the same value system as you. So you cannot be hooked up with someone who don't have the same values as you, going in the same direction. Y'all can't work. It's not, see, when I talk about relations, I'm not talking in a way to look at the other person like they some evil, no good person. I'm telling you to look at them as who they are, what they represent at that moment. And if they don't have the same values as you have, there's no way y'all work it out. Not because they're bad people, y'all just different values. And you got to get to the point, well, maybe y'all can work out and come to the same compromise on getting to the same values. But if they don't want that, or maybe you don't want to be in the same values, then what do you have? You're wasting time. Let me give you the good example. I was talking to someone, and they ended their relationship, their marriage. And I posed the question. I said, "Well, if this person decides at some point that they want to change the way they do things, would you give it a shot? And they said something to me. He said, listen, their values are different. If they don't have the same values as we both on the same page, then we'll never work. And this is what I just said. This person is a go-getter. They want to make money. They want to be wealthy. They don't want to live a broke life. The other person is okay with just being okay. Then they also said it would work if this person would allow me to go be the go-getter, go make the money, bring the wealth in, and they just support that system. But this person doesn't support that. See, that's another thing. If you have one person, not everybody is wanting to have extreme wealth. And you can't expect everybody to have that same want. But if you're with someone and they're supporting you in your wants, they're in a supportive role, then it could work. But if they're not, they're trying to hold, then it's not going to work. I know I'm saying a lot, but there's a lot to look at when you're dealing with relationships. What is the value system? What do you want? And that's the other thing. Most of us, the reason why we can't make it is because we don't really know what we want. Most of us is operating off of needs. And do you know that when you operate and live your life off of needs, you will never reach the level of success that you really want? Well, I need to have this job so I can pay these bills. I need this. I need that. No, that's a mundane life. What do you want? That's how you live your life off what you want. That's how you become happy. That's how you feel like you're accomplishing something. For instance, most people have jobs because they need the job, not because they want that job. They need it. They doing something that they need to do, not something that they love to do. I hope I'm making sense. What do you want? And listen, your wants, and don't be ashamed about your wants. If you want a nice fancy car, great. That's nice. You want a big house? Great. You want lots and lots of money? Cool. There's nothing wrong with those things. Because it's the wants, the things that you want that's going to catapult you and force you into making the changes that you need to make to get those things. See, you got a lot of poor righteous teachers out there. Money ain't everything. See, those people, I send them off somewhere else to tell somebody else that, because I ain't trying to hear that, because money is everything in this life. Because everything I'm doing right now costs money. This electricity, the computers I'm using, the equipment I'm using, the water that I use to bathe in costs money. Transportation to and from wherever I got to go costs money. The vacations I want to take cost money. I'm circulating money daily. I'm circulating money right now. I'm running up a bill right now. And if my mind ain't concentrating on that so that I can take care of that, then I will fall short and I won't be able to pay that. And I won't be able to take care of my family the way I need to take care of them. See, it should be, and I'm talking to men specifically right now, it should be not an option that you are providing for your family in a way that they can live a good life. If you're choosing to be married, have a family, or even if you're not married, you have kids, if you made the choice to bring children into this world or help bring children into this world, it should not be an option for you to work yourself to the point where they have all that they need with abundance. That's just the way I see it. Not everybody agree with that. But the Bible I read, the fathers that I've read about in this Bible, they took care. They had abundance. And that's the type of life I want for my children, have abundance. The only thing we've been doing, the assumption, all of the assumptions we've been living off of is what has kept us broke. Our ideas have kept us broke to this point. So it's time to do something different. It always confused me that I could read this Bible and talk about all of the wealth in the Bible, different people who God had blessed. But for some reason, when I look at it at the church, it don't seem like they're getting blessed at all. Not like on the level of the Bible. What we call black folks in the country, I don't like using that, but I'm using it now, are the lowest level out of any community when it comes to economics. But yet, we spend a lot of time in these churches. There's some connection there. There's some connection there. Because maybe our values, the values that we're being taught, ain't the right values to keep us as a community that is thriving and self-sustaining. Because right now, our community without jobs basically have nothing. And even with these jobs, you got all these people who got money and they pretty much keep it to themselves. For their circle, it's okay. Maybe there's a lot of host of reasons why they do or don't. But the point is, our community is the lowest on the totem pole. When I was looking at some studies, I got a PDF. I was just asking questions about the financial structures of our community, and it's crazy. But yet we go to church a lot. And our community is a church just about on every corner. There's this church, there's this pastor, the pastor living good, but the people in the church are not. Maybe these assumptions that these churches are the answer might be the problem. That's for y'all to figure out. I'm not here to tell you what to do with your church. But I'll say this, if you're sitting in a place and you having problems and you've been going to this place for all these years and your financial problems and your depression hasn't gone away, then you are in the wrong place, I would say. Because in order to make a significant change, become a new person, you pretty much got to get rid of 80% of the things you're doing right now to see some changes in your life. 80%. In some cases, more. That's why I told y'all 10x is better than 2x. They articulate that very well. We assume that we can hold on to this and hold on to that and still become successful people. That's an assumption. But the fact is, it's not true. Because if those things that who you are today and what you've been doing up until this point today, still you not where you need to be, then there's some changes that need to be made. And that's the key. And the first thing to making any change is changing your mind. And the Bible talks about that. Renewing of the mind. Renewing. Continue to renew. It didn't say renew and then stop. It says you must renew. So that means you must become a new person every day. If you at a good level right now and you want to go somewhere else, be bigger and better tomorrow, that which you have right now, the person who you are right now, has to go away and a new person of you, new you had to become. Every step you level, you got to become a new you. I can tell that with a fact. What I was 10 years ago, who I was 10 years ago, I'm not the same person 10 years ago. I'm not the same person from last year. Because how I saw things last year, I see things differently now. And that's what makes life exciting. That's what keep you from being depressed because you a new creature every day. Isn't that? That's what that's what called being reborn. Being born again and again and again and again. Being born again ain't just a one-time thing. And that's what the church has taught you. That, oh, I'm born again now, I'm good. Nah, born again is a daily thing. And it's all talking spiritually, all mentally, consciously, being born a new being, a new spiritual being daily. And that's power, that you have the ability to become infinitely a new creature every day. You don't have to be the same person you was yesterday. You don't have to be the same person that was having financial problems yesterday or right now. You don't have to be that. And it's all a choice. And the choice and what you willing to do for your choices. Are you all in on your choices? Or they just ideas? Hey, because once you make a choice, you do something about the choice. That's why it's a choice. But some people just have ideas of wealth. I want to be wealthy, but they don't want to choose to do what it takes to make them wealthy. Oh, that's too hard. That's too much. I have people, even in my trucking business, this is a slow period. And it's challenges being met every day in that business. But I hear people say, man, I remember when I first started the trucking company and I was having some difficulty with my son trying to get him in line, get him on the program of how to, run the business and stuff like that. And I was talking to my son. That's why you got to be careful when you have conversations. My homeboy, I love him to death. He said, man, I wouldn't be doing that if it was me. Okay. I'm not you. No offense, but you got a job. 9 to 5. And let me tell you, while I'm speaking about that, I hope he listening, but we boys, so we always gonna be cool. He had a job, they laid him off, and he got a nice severance package. I said, man, this opportunity, this is that crossroad that you get. You don't get this often where you can go start what you want. You don't like the job, go for it, go for it. That's why you go and preach this good news to people, but when they don't want it, you gotta shake the dust off and keep it moving. Instead, he went and got another job. Why? Why do you think he did that? Because he got bills to pay. He got a family to take care of, and he's in fear of not being able to take care of them. So he took the safe choice. He took the responsible choice, as the world would say. He took the 2X choice. Because see, the 10X choice would have been, I'm going to start my business, and I got 1 year because I got this 1 year severance package to get it right. See, that would have put him under the pressure of making it happen no matter what. But most people don't. What they say they want it. They want something different. They say, I don't like this work 9 to 5 work life. They say it, but they won't choose to make a choice that they don't have to do it. Because with that choice, what they got to do, they got to give up a lot. They got to give up this, what they think is safety of having a job, somebody paying them regularly. They got to give that idea up. See, the things that we do physically is just the symptoms of the choices and the ideas. See, he had to formally renew his mind and become a new person in his consciousness. He had to anoint his mind into the concept that he had the power in the divinity to make anything happen to his life. He don't need a corporation to support him, because that's what you've been taught, that you need to suck on a corporation's titty in order to survive. I know I put it in such bold terms, but that's what it is. They got you. Think about that. Y'all know the movie The Matrix, right? All those babies was in those little tubes. All those people was in those tubes being intervened and doing. They see that movie represents what most people are doing today. They're laying down inside of something and they're being intravenously fed their nutrition. They're not really moving or going around, but in their mind they think they're doing something. All of everything that's played out for them is a play being played in their consciousness. So to bring that home to what I'm saying, bring a little light here. To bring it home to what I'm saying, most people want to be intravenously fed financially by way of taking a job for the corporation. That's what they don't have to do nothing. All they gotta do is get up and they are doing something, but it's an easier choice. It's the one that they find is less risky because now they people won't complain. You need to go get a job. You need to get this. You need to get that. You got to do something. They're not going to be supportive enough, and this is the reason why the black community is failing. One of the reasons, because we won't support each other in our businesses ideas. Maybe you're the spouse that's interfering with the one that has the idea. What was the last thing you said when your spouse, your significant other came up to you and said they wanted to start a business? What did you say? Did you support it, or you give them all kind of reasons why they should wait? This is not the time to do this because we got all these credit card bills, we got these, and them bills going to be there 10 years from now. Was you supportive? See, I said it that way specifically so that you could look at yourself and not look at the other person as a problem. Did you support them? I know, because the stuff we like to cry about is, well, I got my business and my wife, my husband, they don't want to support me. We want to whine about that. You know the wife you picked. You know the husband you picked. That's your fault. That's your choice. I hate to put it in such blatant terms, but that's the truth. But now you going to let their discouragement keep you from doing your thing? No, ain't nothing stopping me from moving forward. Nah. This is what I also learned. Keep your mouth shut. Just go make it happen. And let them see the benefits of what you're doing. Keep your mouth shut. All right? Oh, you promote keeping secrets from your wife or whatever and all of that stuff? What I'm promoting is not letting the left hand know what the right hand doing. Okay, that's what I'm promoting. That's biblical right there. All right? Boy, I'm on fire today. Let me stop it before I run everybody off. I think I left y'all with enough to think about. I think, truthfully, if you go and think about what I said it all with love. And even with my homeboy, if he listened to it, I know you talking about me. Yeah, I was talking about you, man. You had the opportunity. They gave you a whole year's worth of salary to go do your thing. COVID gave y'all opportunities. And some of y'all just went back into that matrix to get intravenously fed by the system, to be their slave. I remember I said that to someone. And they said, "Oh, if your daughter got a job and she worked for somebody, you going to call her a slave?" Yes, I am. Because that's what it is. Slavery is, y'all think slavery, listen, slavery was abolished in a specific way. That slavery where you was forced to work without getting paid. That type of slavery. We're on a whole nother level when it comes to slavery. A whole nother level. We on such a matrix slavery that we have the illusion and we really think we're free. Yeah, I'm free. This is the land of the brave, home of the free. Okay. Try not to pay your taxes and see what happens. Don't pay taxes on your house. Yeah. See what happens. See how fast you realize how free you are. Okay. Anyway. I lost some people on Telegram. Maybe I said something that hurt. I'm sorry. Um, let's see what the chat's saying, then I'm gonna get off. Go to the beginning. Indie Circle Ministry. Peace, my brother. Go check out his channel, Indie Circle Ministry. We'll talk this week about the things we were talking about a couple of weeks ago. I did not forget you, brother. Lake and Apple, peace to the gods, and much light to all. Son of the one true king says peace to all. Corinne. I hope y'all checking her show out. Level up. I I know what the name of the show is, and I just lost it. Well, go check her YouTube channel out. She's been doing great. Very consistent. I even was listening to one show. I think she's coming up with another day of doing a show. I'm not sure if I'm not mistaken. I heard you say that. I know sometimes y'all think I'm not looking at y'all stuff, but I am. I just don't take the time to make comments sometimes because I'm looking and then I'm off to something else. But I'm watching. I know who's doing what. I'm better than Santa Claus. I know when you're nice and you're naughty. I know. In La Vida says peace to all. Road Warrior says peace, prosperity, and extreme wealth to all. Thank you. Somebody said pump up the volume. In La Vida. Ready. Indie Circle said I was good now. Check. Okay, everybody said I was good. All right, that was when I was having problems with the sound. And added in his name shall be Jesus. LOL. And the add-on in the Bible is what people holly more true than what the Bible actually say. Right. Right. Enzliga says peace, prosperity, and extreme wealth to all. What's up, Bakeem? What's up back to you? Hell of a show today, brother. I've taken a lot from it. Thank you. I have been stuck at 2x making videos every 2 weeks or so, but I'm currently working on my way to a next generation software, which will 10x my videos and performance while doing significantly less. There it is. That means you read the book. For you to say that, that means you have read the book or listened to the book, one or the other. Am I correct on that? You can't remain the same and expect to change. Correct. Yeah, I'm jumping into the 10X hiring new employees so that I can get out of the seat. That's a man of action. I like that. That's a man of action. That means I know he read the book because he's saying exactly what the book says. And willing to keep the 20% and invest the 80% on them. There you go. I will support my husband 100%. I like that. Oh, in La Vida, I'm sorry, that's not the man. That's the wife. I'm sorry. I was thinking of Road Warrior. Road Warrior said the 2X making videos. In La Vida is the mom. And she says, my apologies. She's gonna help her husband. In La Vida is that's a family. Road Warrior is the son. In La Vida is the mom. And Son of the True King is the dad. If I got it all correct. That's a whole family that's taking action on their future. Now, Black folks, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to hit on you, but that's a whole family. They're from the Mexico community. And this is common amongst their community that they work together. And I'm not saying, let's not hate on that. Let's become that, where we are supporting. I was just a little side note. I watched something, and I've said this before. This guy was saying that the whole idea that the children move out of the home is a psyop. And he used the example of, let me see if I can find it and play it. Let me see if I can find this, because y'all got to hear what he's saying. Y'all got to hear it. Da-da-da-da. Where is it? Okay. I'm going to find the video. I'm going to play it, then I'm going to get off. Hey, send me these chat. I got to put up all these codes and stuff they want you to put in. All right. I know how to find it. Give me a second, y'all. Da-da-da. All right, so it's got to be here. 1 second. I'm going to find it for y'all. This is it here. Okay, so I'm going to copy that. Put it here. All right. Give me a second. I want y'all to hear this.
This is a psyop.
Consider this. If you have 10 members of a family and they all scatter to the four winds, where they at least a half hour apart from each other or more, 2 hours apart, states apart, and they will not see each other anymore. And they're going to pay 10 different sets of rent, 10 different sets of utilities, 10 different sets of groceries, 10 different sets of everything. Then what are they going to do? They will live alone in these apartments or in these small structures. They will desperately crave connection with strangers. They will spend tons of money on escapist entertainment. The research actually shows the average American spends about 5 years of their life on escapist entertainment now. And that was before COVID. We need to actually update that information for after COVID now. But the average person, their depression is off the charts. They are crushingly lonely.
Why do you think that moving out of your family's house is a psyop?
Consider this. If you have 10
Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? That moving out of, let me make sure y'all can hear me, because I know how when I play stuff, it starts acting funky. Moving out here is a psyop. And I believe it is. They teach you how to separate. Go get this. Go get your own place. You pay your own set of bills. Instead of everybody working together. And with all that money y'all making, y'all can live in a mansion. You see what I'm saying? Just think about what I just played. But anyway, that's all for another show. Well, I hope to see you guys tomorrow on my webinar. I'll see you guys at 8 o'clock before the webinar for my question and answer show. And with that being said, peace, prosperity, extreme wealth to everyone. Somebody say, yes, we got the Audible app to listen to all of those audiobooks, and we bought the book. Good. I see it's benefiting you guys. All right. So peace, prosperity, And remember, you're not a failure. If you're not where you want to be right now, and you have the desire to make the change, and you're willing to do the work, you're not a failure. The only time you fail, it's only two ways you fail. If you just stop doing it altogether, you fail. Or you cease to exist in this 3D realm. That's when you fail. Peace. That's the mindset we have to have, that we are programmed to fail. Not that we are, I am failure. No, you're not failure. Nobody's failure. Everybody is power, divinity, and are here to have dominion over all things and have prosperity, extreme peace, extreme wealth, whatever you call that. That's what you're here for. You're not here to live in a depressed mindset. That's not what the purpose God put you here for. That is a man-made generated purpose when you feeling like you're not good enough. And the sad part about it, our religious structures have programmed us with that.